Hello there. Welcome to Chelsea's Crazy Craft. I am Chelsea, and if you are a junk journaler, card maker, just like making the ephemera parts for journals or other crafts like that, or you just think you're a crazy crafter, why don't you give us a join with all of us other crazy crafters and hit that subscription little button at the bottom. If you want to make sure you don't miss out when I put out new content, go ahead and hit the notification bell next to the subscribe button. Give this video a like. It always helps. Comment. Let me know what you think. That also helps my channel as well. Today we're doing a craft with me, Tassels. I've had a lot of questions on how I make my tassels specifically, and so I'm going to show you that today. I'm going to move these out of the way and we'll get started. Now, I have 4 sets pre-measured right here. I'm going to move them out of the way, but I just wanted to show you that's how many I'm planning on doing in this video. So we'll move the first 3 out of the way. Now, I make my books about 9 inches long and about 6 inches wide. So my tassel, when folded in half, hangs just below the very bottom of the book usually. Each length of mine are 16 to 16 and a half inches long. And then there is this clasp and the bit of chain after I wrap it around part of the tassel that is left to hang down, as well as the about 8 or so inches from the tassel, which is why it ends up hanging down just below the base of the book. Now, if you don't want it to hang past the length of your book, just shorten your length, and that's all it really takes to adjust that. Give me just one moment. I have a 3-year-old getting Sorry about that. That is always part of my videos, is dealing with the 3-year-old. Now I'm going to pull my chair up, and we are going to get started. Now, the thickness of your tassel depends on a few things. The materials you use, so if you're using bulky yarn, more of these wider pieces of ribbon or sari silk or things like that, it's going to be a chunkier tassel. Or if you're using thin strings like this here, or thin pieces like this here, it's going to be a thinner tassel. I usually use kind of a mix, and my tassels aren't super thin, but they're not like uber chunky either. The amount of pieces I put in just depends on what I'm feeling like at the moment. I'm going to organize them into a way I enjoy, which is usually kind of just alternating colors, depending on what it's for. Get some of my yellow ones here. Now, you can always kind of adjust it. Excuse me. Oh, darn allergies. You can always adjust it before you fully tie it, which is nice. I like to just try and get it in a somewhat organized manner. I like first, if possible, because that just helps a little bit. And then it makes it a little easier in the end. I like organizing them. I'm trying to kind of adjust the lengths while I'm doing this as well, because it's a little trickier to do afterwards. Let's see. This is probably one of the more tedious parts of doing this. And it's probably the part I like the least, just trying to get it where I am comfortable with the way it's sitting and making sure that I like that look. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to move some of these because I have this wide one that I kind of want in the middle, because if it's too close to the top, it covers all of them, but if it's too far into the bottom, we won't see it, which is not what we want. And I like to put these thinner pieces like this right here because I like to add beads and charms, and they, unless you're using the jump rings, it's very hard to add beads and charms onto the thicker pieces. So if you don't want to use jump rings but you want to add beads and charms, definitely put some thinner pieces in your tassel bit. And I'm going to actually grab this whole bit and flip it over because these two are sticking out on the one side just a bit more than I want. And now I'm pretty happy. Now we're going to flip it back over because I want this facing the right way. And we're going to do our best to fold it in half. And you can see I have my finger here where the loop is. And we're about in half right here. And that's right about where I want it. So, keeping in mind where that half is, and I'm putting it on the middle line of my craft mat here. I'm going to set this over here, because this will go around this in a minute. And then I'm going to grab one of my pieces of string, a shorter piece that I have, and run it right up the middle. Oh, it's a busy day for notifications today, apparently. And then I'm going to take it and make one little knot right there in the middle. Not all the way, so I can hold it and see if I like how my tassel is falling. And I don't think I do, unfortunately. So we're going to go back to the middle, find where it is, and adjust a few things. So I'm going to pull that back. Sorry, my dog is whining. Not sure why, because they were just outside. No! And I think I am going to pull this a little more up to the top, grabbing about how far I think I want it to be, and then putting it on top of these. And then trying it again. And then give it a little tie right in the middle there. Fold it again and hold it. Oh dear, we adjusted a piece way off while doing that. So once again, small adjustments. This guy somehow got pulled way too far to one side, so we're going to pull that out. And I think that guy's going to go at the bottom. I'm going to try to put a black piece on each side of that ribbon, and maybe it is kind of going to go on the top because I really do want it showing. And this piece is still too far off to the side. There we go. That looks about even again. And now I need to refine my middle, which is right about there. Put my string down in the middle. And then I want to adjust this black piece higher up. And I want to make sure some of my thinner pieces are higher up, so we can put little danglies. I like some of my danglies hidden inside so you can kind of discover them. So I'm going to pull that tight and hold it and see if I like the way it's hanging. And now I do. So now I'm going to make a full knot by tying it. And now, where I have my middle here, I'm going to wrap my string back underneath and flip it upside down and give it one more tie to hold the middle really tight. And this one I'm going to make a double knot. And that hides these extra little strings underneath in the base of my tassel, like that. Now this is where we put the chain around, because if you do it later, it makes it very, very hard, because then you have to shove it through part of it. And sometimes I can do that with my fingers, and sometimes I can't. Right now, I am unable to. And I don't have my pliers with me. Got it. Okay. And then seal my jump ring back up, as you can see. And then we're going to pull this down a little bit tighter. And now I'm going to take another piece of short string, but a nicer piece that is more finished looking than just the basic baker's twine I used. And we're going to wrap it around just underneath where we have our piece here. And that makes kind of a little ball right here. And then we're going to tie that on, because that is what finishes off this to look nice at the top, and I will show you closer. And make sure to pull it really tight. And then there is our tassel. Now this one, I do definitely want to add a few buttons to, and these are my buttons. This is going to be for Bee Journal, if you haven't guessed by the honeycomb. So I'm pulling out some of my bee colored buttons that I pre-did. Stop that, Missy. Apologies, my husky is very loud. If you haven't watched my videos before, if you have, you already know. And then we're just gonna run the string through some of these buttons. And if you have little bee charms or whatever type of charm for whatever you're making, you can definitely also add that. I did that with my Alice in Wonderland one. This button I don't want like stuck. It can be free floating. So wherever I just want it to stop at least. You make a little knot. Simple as that. And this one I'm going to double knot just because the hole in this button is just a little larger. And then pull it down to make sure it doesn't slip. And then let's find one of our black strings on this side. And we will throw down a yellow button on that. Stop that, Nix. No. And then do the same process here. We're just feeding the string through the button. And this one I want to be able to hang farther down. So I'm just going to tie the knot much closer to the end. And this one is an even thinner string because this is actually just embroidery thread. So I'm going to triple knot this one just to be safe. Pull, make sure it doesn't come through, and it doesn't. Great. Now this button or bead or whatever, it is kind of a button, had this on it, and I think we're going to take this and put it on a black one on this side. I very much like this one. This one's kind of cool. I just licked my finger to get the strings to stay on this embroidery thread here. Stop! You're fine. Thread it through. Oh my goodness, it does not want to stay. These embroidery thread sometimes likes to fray very easily. So there we go, got it through. And this one I'm going to tie up higher. And this one I'm actually going to tie since it's a piece like this. And we're definitely going to double knot this one. And it's easy. And then you can thread on some of these larger pieces like this. Sometimes if you have a charm, that this will fit through the hole. But in general, I'm just going to add on to these short strings today because I don't have charms like that today. And if I get some, I will definitely add them to my tassels before they go on my journal. Stop that, Nix. This is a big old giant bead that I got from some and a bunch of jars of antique buttons that I bought, and it's a flower, so I thought it would be really pretty on a sweet bee journal. And then this one kind of looks to me like honey. Oh gosh. And so I think that one will go nicely. And then I may try to thread onto one of the larger strings and show you how to do that. I have one that's not too thick, but also not super thin. And then we're going to see if we can find one of the beads that will fit on. Or, I mean, buttons. You can also use beads. I don't have any beads today. You can use beads, buttons, charms, broken pieces of jewelry. All of those work. So what I was going to see if I could thread onto is this right here. Let me kind of adjust this. And this is melted with a lighter. And so I'm just folding that in half where it was. And then this black button is got much larger holes. So I'm going to see if I can get it through there. And it looks like I can, which I'm quite happy about. Stop that, ma'am. You are fine. And then once again through the other hole. Sometimes it takes some finessing. Sometimes you can also use a bookbinding needle or a sewing needle to get the thread through these buttons. And this one I'm going to tie pretty low down. It doesn't seem like this is one that needs to be real high. And as you can see when looking at it, you can see the little charms on it. And I can always add more later, which is a plus. But I kind of like this the way it is. So this one is finished. I think we're going to hop over and scoop up all of these little buttons real fast and put them back in my jar. And then hop over and we're going to do the brown one, which is the one I'm making for my mushroom journal. And we're going to start laying down pieces. Now this right here is Sari Silk. And I do like that one. We're going to lay down something light. We're going to lay down something dark. I'm going to put some of these larger pieces at the bottom that I know I'm not going to hook tiny pieces to. Then we're going to add another Sari Silk. See, this one has a big knot, which that would be cool to hang a dangly off with a jump ring. And then let's see. Another of the white pieces. Dark brown piece. Sari Silk. Fuzzy piece here. And the other very large piece. And then this is just the easiest way to do it. Just layer your bits as, you feel like. And it can be tricky at first. You can be unsure of how you want things laid out, and it on occasion really does take a bit of adjusting. It's not always super simple. And it's gonna maybe. Hoping that this one will just be easy. And I'm not going to decorate this one with any beads because I am waiting on some little mushroom charms I ordered online to arrive. And then I will probably hook those with jump rings. Stop! Both of you. And then I have another thin string here, as you can see. I feel like I'm missing some of my thin strings. Oh dear. That's on the base. This doesn't have a thin string. Oh no! I might not be able to make all four right now. Okay, so this one is the one I believe I'm missing my small string for. Of course it is. Let me see if I can find it or find another piece that I can use. Now with the middle part you can also use sari silk. So I may just find a piece. Oh look. And here's all my pieces I cut off when I was measuring. So I'm betting I've got something in here that I can use that matches well enough to tie around the middle. And I do. That will work. And see, sometimes crafting and craft on the fly. That's part of the crazy craft. Okay, now this is going to go up the middle. We're going to do what we did last time. We're going to tie it around. Not super tight, but tie it. And see if we like the way it looks when it hangs. And actually, I'm quite happy with that. First off. Woohoo! And so, I'm going to pull this tight, and then do the same thing I did last time. Going to flip it underneath, and give it a tie. Real tight. Stop, Missy! No! And we're going to double knot that one, so it hides underneath, just like last time. No! Same thing. We have to open the jump ring again. Just force that with all my power. Hey! And close the jump ring. And it looks like we may only get 2 done today, just because Crazy Dog is in a mood today. And see, that is nicely done. And then we'll make our little round place at the top, and this one's a bit chunkier. And I need to adjust my piece of chain more to this side because I want it to sit as even as possible. And then we'll take our nice looking piece that's a little more finished to make our little bump at the top and wrap it around as tight as possible. And if you don't like the way your bump looks, you can always pull it down more. I'm going to let this bump be a little bigger than the last one. My little bee one. And then we're just going to do a little double knot at the top. And sometimes over the double knot at the top, I do like to put a little charm because you usually do have these little 2 pieces that stick out right here. After tying. Stop it! Why are we being loud today, Miss Nix? Tying that tight, and there is a very simple dangle. Let's try and get one more done before she just goes completely berserk. And we won't decorate it, we'll make it easy. I'll do my black and white. I have 1 large piece here. I've actually got 4 of those large pieces, so this one's going to be kind of crazy. And then there, another big one. And just try and get some thin pieces so we can put jewels later. lace piece. Another large one of these. And a couple of thin strings of black. And this is really all it is when it's something like this, is just layering. I mean, that's really the easiest part, is deciding where to throw your layers. Stop that, Nix. And just choosing the bits. Stop! No! And I think I really like that. Let's take our white string. And actually, this one I'm going to use this to wrap the little knob, and we will see how that goes. Because I like a thicker piece in the middle, and then sometimes the thinner piece wrapped around to make the bump, or ball, or whatever you want to call it, at the top. So we're going to pull this, make sure that's about even. It is. And I actually do really like the way that one looks. I think I might want to pull this white piece up top a little more. Make it a little more even. Adjust that. And you can also just adjust your string if you like the way it's hanging in a different way, which I think that's perfect. Stop, Nick! Oh my gosh. I think we're going to have to end this video very soon. So there's that tied. Stop! We're going to flip this. Oh my gosh, which string is it? Oh no, there it is. To the base. Oof. As you can see, that has the underside of the black flower ribbon. Give this a good double tie. Stop! Pull this around. Oh my gosh, my string got caught in my tassel. Pull this, oh, I forgot to open my jump ring. Oh, this one don't have a jump ring. And neither does this one, and I'm not sure why. Of course they don't. I do have jump rings, but I guess you kind of get the idea. I would take a jump ring, wrap this around, and make the knob again. Sorry about the dog barking. I know that may have made this video hard to watch. If you made it all the way through, please give this video a like. Watch again when I make other videos. Join my crazy crafting group by subscribing. Hit the notification bell. Check out all my links below. And thank you so much. And I will see you next time.